Could you please state your name and your age, please?
My name is Deborah Gopashian. I'm 17.
Okay, and how old were you when you became poor?
I was about 6 at the time.
And do you know what caused you and your family to be poor, or?
I'm guessing it was mostly my mom's and dad's divorce, knowing that my mom didn't have a job at that time.
So you're thinking that the divorce caused you guys to be poor?
Yeah.
Okay, and where exactly did you live?
Well, we started living in my mom's truck, but knowing that I had a brother and me and my mom, we didn't all fit in the truck. So we started moving into relatives' house, and we just moved from relative to relative.
And how did you feel knowing that you couldn't depend on your family, you had to depend on your relatives?
Well, at the time I was small, and I didn't really, know, but as I grew older, it did feel kind of awkward.
Okay. And how did you cope with, being poor and not being able to have what other children have?
Oh, when I was a kid, let me tell you, I didn't cope with that well. I used to throw tantrums and stuff like that, but I got used to it, and I learned to live with it, and knowing that I can't have everything that I want.
Do you think it brought your family closer together or separated you guys more?
I think it did bring us closer together because we had we had nobody else to depend on but ourselves and our family, and we had to, if I needed to say anything, I would go straight to my mom. I didn't hesitate.
In any way, did you feel ashamed when you were around other kids, or?
I did.
And were you made fun of because you were poor? Were you even able to go to school?
Well, yeah, because my relatives paid for my education. But yes, as I was smaller, I was teased because of the clothes I was wearing and stuff like this, and it wasn't really pretty.
Okay, and how did your family get out of being poor, and where do you think you'd be now if you were still poor, if you weren't able to get out of it?
Well, my family, my mom ended up finding a job and ended up getting married, and basically my mom is able to support herself and for us. My stepdad is really a bum on, literally, he doesn't really need to do anything. My mom brought herself up, and that's how we got, and as I grew up, I learned to get a job and also work, so I support myself as well. And if we were still in this situation that we were before, I think I'd be on the streets, for sure. I wouldn't even be living with relatives. There's only so much they can take.
So you think you'd be just on the streets, or would you be
in a homeless shelter,
prostituting, or doing drugs or anything of that matter?
Me probably doing drugs and stuff like that.
So you thank your relatives and your mom and everything?
I thank my mom for sure because she helped me through. Even though she was going through this difficult time, she still helped us and understand what's right and wrong.
Okay.
And our relatives did help us a lot. Without my relatives, I probably wouldn't be here today.
So how do you feel now about your life, and what do you have to say to the youth that are poor or suffering?
Well, can you re-say that, please?
How do you feel now about your life, and what do you have to say to the youth that are poor and suffering?
Well, now about my life is pretty good, and to the people out there, don't give up. There is hope. There is hope. You can pull through it. If I did, then you can. Don't give up hope. Never do.
Okay. I'd like to thank you for sitting through this interview, and I know it's tough, but thank you.
It was my pleasure.